a major global trade point once again. The start list for the women's floor competition. And we see Antonia Duță of Romania, the second strongest in qualification. She'll go fourth in the running order. Larisa Iordache scored a 13.433 in qualification. She was the top qualifier, will go last. The top four qualifiers were all Romanian athletes, ergo 10th spot. In this case, Göksu Uçtaşan of Turkey has earned a place in the final. Iordache, a two-time European floor champion. So if you like, the third strongest in qualification here is the fifth strongest from qualification. That's Angelina Radivilova. So she will definitely be one to watch. Very experienced competitor on floor. As I was saying earlier, the city of Mersin became a centre of commerce. They say that it's a beautiful part of the world in terms of harvests. The weather is perfect, the soil is wonderful. Second richest floor in the world. It's known for its citrus fruits, honey and fish as well. And this is the final opportunity to harvest some medals here at the European Championships of 2020. The last chance to take home some precious metals. But who will manage to spice up their floor routine and really wow the judges? Here we go. It is the women's floor final to conclude these European Championships. We have ourselves a real mixture of experience levels in this final, but it is on aggregate the most experienced of all of the finals. First to go will be Diana Warinska of Ukraine, who performed so well in the team final, 8th strongest in qualification. Huge response for Göksu Uçtaşan, 10th strongest in qualification. The Turkish athletes had some great times on floor in Mersin. Angelina Radivilova is a seasoned floor performer, 5th strongest in qualification. Antonia Duță, 2nd strongest in qualification. There, Dorina Bötziger of Hungary, 28-year-old, has a very fine floor routine. Zoya Sekai of Hungary was the 9th strongest qualifier, and the first chance to see an Israeli competitor in these championships. Lihi Hradz, 6th strongest in qualification, and Larisa Iordache, the top performer in qualification. The reserve gymnast for this final was Barbara Mokashova of Slovakia. Worth mentioning some of the other reserve gymnasts as well. Lola Schleich of Luxembourg was the reserve for the balance beam competition. Bilge Tarhan, the reserve gymnast for the vault. So we get ourselves underway with Diana Warinska of Ukraine. The European Games all-around bronze medalist from last year. What character we have seen from Diana Wawrinska at these championships, having battled with very bad health and only been able to train for a few weeks, having commented herself on just how much harder it's been to train than normal. She said that qualification for the Olympic Games that was achieved in Stuttgart at the World Championships has just inspired her to work harder and harder and to take advantage of this extra year, not to focus on any of the negatives. And in a recent interview, put it very well actually, when she said that she's been doing this since childhood, and no matter what the ups and downs are, it's what she loves, it's what she does. Twisted round with real accuracy. Well, it certainly was a day of sweet dreams for Ukraine yesterday, taking the team title by just a matter of under a couple of tenths from Romania. Now, where does Wawrinska feature here? 12.65 for her. Did have a 0.1 penalty in the qualification process, and she's up by a tenth and a half. Göksu Uçtaşan of Turkey, the 30-year-old who retired from the sport due to severe injuries, had a child, came back, and 11 months later won a gold on floor here in Mersin. This place has been the site of some of the finest moments of her career. It was here in 2016 that her comeback began in earnest. 4 gold medals in total in this arena in international competitions over the years, and that was a super performance from an artistic and stylish athlete. 30-year-old from Şahinbey, about 300 kilometers to the east of Mersin on the border with Syria. She actually won the Mediterranean Games silver in 2009 on the vault in Pescara. She won a floor silver in Tarragona a couple of years ago, missed the Mediterranean Games here in Mersin, for which this arena was built, because she had retired due to a left elbow injury. Very nicely establishing those pirouettes. Now it's interesting, her marking qualification was 12.4 with a 0.3 penalty for going out of bounds. No such danger on this occasion. Just got the sense there of a gymnast thoroughly relishing this occasion. Will it be enough to find some place on the podium? Now that would be the absolute crowning achievement. And you can see, I think, just how much that means. The score is 13. Göksu Uçtaşan is in play. 8.3 execution score. It had to be highly crisp execution because of her difficulty, and boy, it was. On the subject of difficulty, Angelina Radivilova of Ukraine. There's more than one way to earn a score, and she does it with some complex work. 5th strongest in qualification. What a competition it's been for Angelina Radivilova, gold medalist in the team event. Often one of those gymnasts who's nearly there when it comes to international competitions, but not this time. She took the gold in the team event. Such an important member of the team in terms of her influence. Well, even more drama here. Göksu Uçtaşan has submitted an inquiry. Same difficulty score as she received in qualification. So obviously in her mind and her coaches there's something more to be gained. We have seen inquiry success so far today and in qualifications. Last month Angelina Radivilova was the national champion on the floor exercise. It was the National Championships of 2019 that started a really wonderful return to form for the 29-year-old from Kiev. And she won the floor exercise at the World Cup in Hungary in October. But that, one of a few moments here and there where there was a little bit of compression on the landing or just being slightly off axis. Now, where does Radivilova fit in? She was 13.066 in qualification. The 5th strongest, but in the terms of this final, the 3rd strongest. Because of 2 Romanian gymnasts missing out as 3rd and 4th place in qualification. At the moment, it's Turkey that has pole position with 13. Well, worth going for that inquiry. Up to 13.1, Göksu Uçtaşan. Difficulty increases to 4.8. Now we await the score for Angelina Radivilova. The occasion really did hit her in the team final when she realised that she finally got those European Championship honours. Not just honours, but a team gold as well. .6 for Angelina Radivilova. 5 for difficulty. Now she had a 5.2 for difficulty in qualification, so we'll just wait and see if anything comes out of that. Now the second strongest qualifier was Antonia Dutzer of Romania, 13.2. And she really does know how to start a floor routine. She also knows how to finish one. Have a look at this. It is, as ever, memorable work from Antonia Dutzer. 16-year-old from Bucharest. She was part of that Romanian team that won the silver medal at the European Youth Olympic Festival in Baku, Azerbaijan last year. 4th in the floor final at the Junior European Championships of 2018. Expressive and bold work. Did have a step out of bounds right at the very start of the routine. There it is, to carry that 0.1 penalty. Just a little bit of turbulence on the wolf turns. Not too much wrong with the twisting there. And the whole thing certainly is performed, and with a flourish. So this will take us to the halfway mark of the final. 12.6 for Antonia Dutzer. Difficulty is down by a tenth. Her execution is down by 0.4. Now, the very experienced competitor on floor, Darina Bertziger from Hungary, 28. And she's in really good form at the moment. Won the National Championship in October on floor, and then a silver at the Masters Championship last month. Amazing, considering that she only started training again in August after shoulder surgery. Berziger had a very low landing on one of her tumbling passes and then managed to recover the whole routine. Gymnast who began her training back in 1999. Just showing a bit of support there for her teammate, Zoya Sekai, who's next up. First European Championships for Berziger was in 2008. This her 9th time at the European Championships. Going for real height in the layout skills. Tough to keep symmetry, tucking the knees in. And just lost that form a little bit, leading to a difficult landing. Yep, Sekai knows all too well. Could be a little bit on the costly side. Berziger, part of the Hungary team that won the bronze medal in yesterday's competition. And so much energy and intensity has gone into that, and preparing for that opportunity over the last month or so, that it's easy to understand if gymnasts start to become a touch fatigued by the time of this last final, especially when considering that they haven't been doing an awful lot of competing lately, although some of the Hungarians have been doing more than others. 12.1 for Darina Berziger. Execution 7.2 compared to the 7.833 in qualification. So she finds herself in 5th position. What does that mean with 3 to go? It's Göksu Uçtaşan, then it's Diana Vrinska, then it's Antonia Dutsa. We look at Zoya Sekai of Hungary, the 9th strongest qualifier. What a superb competition from Zoya Sekai. Team bronze medalist, also making her way onto the uneven bars podium as well, in that brilliant result for Hungary. She was very busy last year with 6 international competitions in what was her first senior year. 2 more performances to come after this. The score is in for Zoya Sekai. It is 12.2. And what that means is that Göksu Uçtaşan has just become the first Turkish woman to win a medal at the European Artistic Gymnastics Championship. She is guaranteed at least a bronze. We have 2 competitors to go, and we've just had some wonderful history made for the host nation and for its most experienced gymnast. Penultimate competitor is Lihi Kratz of Israel, 6th strongest in qualification, the reigning Israeli all-around champion and floor champion. Gymnast who first identified herself really as a vaulter at the 2017 Maccabi Games, but of late has started to show that she is a very fine all-around athlete as well as a performer on the floor exercise. Senior European Championship debut for the 17-year-old, actually born in the United States of America. Really had to step in at the World Championships in Stuttgart. A lot of pressure on her as a young athlete with some injuries to more experienced team members, and she really did deliver. Part of her success was actually some upgrades to her floor exercise at those World Championships. It is a 12.75 for Lihi Kratz. And so she has gone into the silver medal position and in doing so has secured herself a medal. We'll come back to that in just a moment. That's a brilliant moment for Kratz, the final performer of these European Championships. Of course, it had to be Larissa Iordache, the top qualifier with 13.433. She did have a 0.1 penalty for going out of bounds. She has twice been the European floor champion. They say that home is where the heart is. Her heart, one of the biggest, one of the toughest in the sport of gymnastics. And she is always at home at a major competition and always at home on the floor. Larisa Iordache of Romania, whatever the outcome in this particular final, this has been an incredible story. We must reflect as well on the fact that Israel has just joined Turkey in securing its first ever medal in the Women's European Artistic Gymnastics Championships. Colours to be determined after this score comes in for Iordache. Score to beat is 13.1. That is Göksu Uçtaşan. If she wins this, it would be, by my reckoning, the 55th gold medal won by Romania at the Women's European Artistic Gymnastics Championships. And by tie-breaking criteria, looking then at silver medals, it would make Romania the most successful nation of all time at the Women's European Championships, going ahead of the Soviet Union. A lot of stories, a lot of stories. And what about for her as well? Guaranteed a silver medal. Either way, this title's going to a veteran. Either way, someone here has proven that you can win things at any age. She's almost done it. She's about to discover it is at 13.05, and come along. If this isn't one of the best gymnastic stories of the year, I don't know what is. She can be bruised, but she will not break. Göksu Uçtaşan came back to this sport and won a gold medal at the Mersin World Challenge Cup in 2016. She said it was the best moment of her career. Well, guess what? This one's better. European champion on floor. History maker for Turkey. Göksu Uçtaşan. Well, they talk about Turkish men's gymnastics a lot. They're going to talk about women's gymnastics for quite some time now after this moment. She missed the Mediterranean Games here in Mersin 7 years ago because she had retired. Turns out she hadn't. Just remarkable stuff here to close out these European Championships in Mersin. That may well have been the performance of her life. She evidently knew at the end of the routine that she'd done what she came here to do, having looked after the team really for so long. This one was about her, that group of 16-year-olds that she was really captaining. Oh, hang on a minute. Okay. There's now an inquiry that's been submitted. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now, the gap, as things stand, is 1/2 tenth. Larisa Iordache had a 5.7 for difficulty in qualification. 5.2 the difficulty score here. Well, she thought for a moment that she had won the title. Whatever the outcome, it is a medal. Will it in fact be silver? Will it be another gold for her? Will it be a third European title? I hope you've stayed with us right to the very end of this broadcast, because although the competition has finished, the drama is not over. Göksu Uçtaşan had her score successfully upgraded after an inquiry. Her original score wouldn't have been good enough to beat Yordakis. Is now Yordakis' score after the inquiry good enough to beat her? How are you all doing there at home? Nice and calm? Good, glad to hear it. Oh, it's absolute agony, isn't it? Probably more agonising for the competitor that's in the lead. The moment of victory paused. Is the moment of victory denied? Senior judges are now looking at everything in microscopic detail. Inquiries so far today have been successful. Everybody is absolutely gripped. Yes, quite rightly there, being told what you did was amazing. I think that's a really wise bit of counsel from the coach. No matter what happens, Göksu Uçtaşan gave everything she had and delivered really the performance of her career. My. Everyone is just glued to that scoreboard. Gold for her, or gold for Yordakis for the second time at these European Championships. There we know it. It is the gold for Larissa Yordakis. It is a second gold medal at these European Championships, 13.45. The inquiry is successful. It's going to hurt. It really is going to hurt for Göksu Uçtaşan, but you know what? No Turkish woman has ever been on the podium at a European Championships, and she is the first one. She thought that it was the gold. The inquiry proved otherwise. The classified result in the women's floor exercise, a brilliant bronze medal for Lihi Hrats of Israel. First time they've ever made it on a women's European podium. Turkey also history makers, courtesy of Göksu Uçtaşan, taking silver with 13.1. She thought she'd won it, and then high drama at the end as Larissa Yordakis' score upgraded, and upgraded considerably as well, by 4/10 to secure her another European Championship title. Number 7. Well, let's take a look at what we've just witnessed, as if it's anything other than fresh in your memory. Superb silver medal won by the veteran Turkish athlete Göksu Uçtaşan. Well, she has done a good number in keeping people guessing, Larissa Iordache. Whether she would ever compete again, we just didn't know. And she kept us guessing right until the very end. We waited and waited, and another title for Romania, another title for Iordache. And what that means is that Romania has just gone beyond the Soviet Union in the medals table to become the most successful nation of all time at the Women's European Artistic Gymnastics Championships. The victory ceremony in the women's floor competition here in Mersin. Israel on the podium with Lihi Ratz, the 17-year-old, a brilliant performance. A small crowd, but a lot of noise for Göksu Uçtaşan, the first ever Turkish woman to make a European Championship podium. This venue has been the scene of the greatest moments in her career, and this the best of all. But when you talk about great moments in a person's career, this European Championships for Larissa Iordache has been nothing short of a sensation. 2 gold medals today, after the team silver medal yesterday. Oh, she is back. It's another gold for Romania. A 55th at the European Women's Artistic Gymnastics Championships. And we shall hear the familiar sounds of the national anthem of Romania. With a 7th European title, Larissa Iordache moves into the all-time top 5 at the Women's European Artistic Gymnastics Championships and becomes, quite simply, the most successful gymnast still competing at the European Artistic Gymnastics Championships for women. An incredible accomplishment. Draws level for gold medals with Larissa Latinina and Sandra Izbasha. And so our time here in Mersin draws to a close. Indeed, our 2020 in gymnastics draws to a close. The host nation managing to get onto the podium at the conclusion of these championships, and once again Göksu Uçtaşan is smiling, realising what an incredible accomplishment her silver medal is. Even though she thought for a moment it was gold, or more than a moment, it is still history making. History making too from Larissa Iordache of Romania. Remarkable championships that she's had. History making for Romania. History making for Ukraine, as they win their first ever women's team title, as Romania become the most successful nation in women's artistic gymnastics at the European Championships. So many other history-making moments. It's been a great pleasure having your company over the course of 2020 in a more limited capacity than we expected when gymnastics kicked off the year back in January, February time. Who knows what the future will hold, but it's been an absolute joy to have your companionship, proving that the sport of gymnastics and its a wonderful community can deal with any challenge that's thrown at it. Until 2021, until next time, I've been Ollie Hogben, and it's farewell until next we meet.